Hey, it's your friend Christiano, and welcome to the Queer Quest podcast. Hello, all you fabulous souls, and welcome to this week's episode of Dear Christiano on the Queer Quest podcast. So, this week on Dear Christiano, I wanted to talk about something that has been lingering in my mind for quite some time, and something that I was formulating and obviously decided to write about. And it's how there are thousands of versions of you out there in the world, and you're only ever going to really truly know one of those versions. So, of course, as some of you know who listen to the podcast, I write long posts that I share on my Facebook every single week. So I'll start by reading that out, and then we'll go into further detail about what that actually means, and I'll break it down for you. So let's start with this one. Dear Christiano, the only person who will ever see you exactly as you see yourself is you. Everyone else, family, friends, colleagues, strangers, they all meet you through their own lens, their experiences, their stories, their wounds, their expectations. And what does that create? Thousands of versions of you. In one, you're the hero. In another, the villain. In some, the trusted friend. In others, the disappointment. To some, you're magnetic. To others, forgettable. But here's the truth. You'll never see yourself the way others do. And you'll never control the version of you they hold in their mind. And that's freeing, because your energy doesn't belong in chasing or managing their projections. It actually belongs in the version of you that you know and love and choose to be. Not everyone deserves all of you. And it's not arrogance to withhold, it's protection. Protecting your peace, protecting your wholeness, protecting the sacred ground of your becoming. So why spend time trying to win over the people who already decided on a negative version of you? Let them have their story. Let them keep their version. It was never yours to carry anyway. The liberation is here. Focus on your growth. Focus on your healing. Focus on your joy. And the right people, the ones who feel you in your authenticity, will find their way into your orbit. Even then, they'll never see the full you. They'll only ever glimpse it through their eyes. But you'll know the truth. And that's enough. That is freedom. With love, Christiano. If you've ever wondered, why am I still carrying pain that doesn't even feel like mine? You're not broken. You're brilliant. But brilliance gets buried under years of shame and silence and survival. And that's why I made this. I'm Christiano Green, a queer transformation coach and the founder of Queer Quest. I created a free queer healing guide to help LGBTQA+ souls begin the journey back to themselves. Inside, you'll discover the 3 core stages of queer healing, powerful journal prompts, and a roadmap to stop surviving and start thriving. This isn't some fluffy self-help PDF. It's the spark your soul has been waiting for. You deserve to heal, not just for your past, but for your future. Download the 3 guide now. And if no one ever told you this before, your healing is holy. And your queerness, it's your power. So grab your free guide now via the link in my bio, or just comment below and I'll send it to you directly. So I'm sure there's quite a little bit to unpack there, but I think the main moral that I trust came out through me sharing that is that every single person that you meet is going to have a different version of who they see you as. And the truth is that you're only ever going to get to meet one version of yourself. And it's the version that you know deep inside. Because isn't it true that there are so many parts of us, there are so many different sides to who we are. And every single person that we meet doesn't get the same side of us. They don't get to meet all of you. Even your partners, your family, your best friends, they don't know every single thing about you. There are definitely parts of you we all keep hidden. We all keep private. And now that's not because maybe we don't trust other people or maybe that we don't value them. But there are some things that we just hold close to our chest. Growing up as a queer person, I know that I was taught through society to keep many things to myself. And yes, I'm close with my partner, of course. I've got some really close friendships. I've got my family. But not every single one of them is going to see me the same way. And not every single one of them, most of them don't even know everything about me because there are some things I don't share, even with the people closest to me. Again, that's not out of shame. That's not out of not trusting other people, but it's just there are some things that are our inner world and we go through and we navigate them internally. And we don't share every single thought that we have or every single feeling that we have or every single experience that we have. And we're not with people 24/7. So people will, again, only ever see you through their lens. Now, of course, what does that mean? It means that their lens is through their model of the world, how they see the world. And their experiences of the world are shaped by their experiences in this world. So their thoughts, their feelings, their traumas, their amazing things that they know about themselves, their personality, the things that they've learned, their healing, their growth, their transformation. And so, again, each person's going to have a very different version of you. Now, of course, some could be similar, but no two versions are going to ever be the same. So, what does that mean? It means if you're someone who used to be like I used to be the massive people pleaser. I wanted to try to control the narrative of how other people saw me. And being a people pleaser really meant that I tried to manipulate the narrative of how someone saw me by pleasing others, by being a great friend, by being a great son, by being a great employee, by being a great partner. Any of the things that you can think of and all of the things that you can think of where you try to be something for somebody else so that they see you in a way that you want them to see. Whenever you do that, you still can't control the narrative. You still can't control the version of you that they see because you are shaped through their experiences, how they see the world. So you may try and it may succeed on some level, but it will never fully exceed that. And you can never control someone else's narrative of how they see you. You ever feel like the world wasn't built for you? Like you were born queer, and then you had to spend your whole life recovering from what that meant to everybody else. Yeah, me too. But I turned that pain into purpose. My name is Christiano Green. I'm a queer transformation coach and the founder of QueerQuest, the world's first personal development platform created exclusively for LGBTQA plus people. We don't just talk about healing or growth and self-love. We live it. We teach it. We queer the hell out of it. I built QueerQuest because I wanted every queer person to have access to the tools, to the teachers, and to the community that helped save my life. And I'm talking emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of it. This isn't just a platform. It's a revolution of self-return. A sacred space where your queerness is celebrated, your truth is seen, and your excellence is activated. So if you're ready to grow, to heal, and to rise as the queer badass that you were born to be, come join us. Your quest begins now. So that to me screams that there is a lot of freedom out there in knowing this. The more that we know and understand, there are thousands upon thousands of versions of us out there, depending on how many people we've met or come into contact with, then we can free ourselves from the desire or the need to actually please others or to try to control the narrative and focus solely on how we see ourselves. Because isn't it true that there are many people out there who have a negative thought about you, who have maybe seen you as a villain in their story? I know if I just think off the top of my head, there are definitely people out there who hate me, who have a problem with me, who despise me. For whatever reason, good, bad, or ugly, maybe I've done something to them in the past that caused them to feel that way. Or maybe through their model of the world, they've seen something in me that they didn't like and have attached a story and a narrative to who I am. The truth is that all of those versions of who I am are not true to the person that I see myself. Some of them can be similar, but none of them are going to be true. Because how we see ourselves, whether that's good, bad, or ugly, is going to be different to everybody else because nobody else fully gets to experience life the way that we do. So when that matters is that you want to, the only person's perception you should ever be focused on is yourself, on how you see yourself. Not even worrying about how you see other people, because again, your experience is going to shape how you see them. Now, that could be slightly true to whatever it is that you see, but again, the next person down the street is going to think of something different. So as I said, there are people out there who hate me, who don't like me, who have a problem with me, but there are people out there who love me, who value me, who honor me, who think I'm the best person in the world, right? Knowing that there's people on both sides of the story and that both versions of those stories are true to somebody and how they see me means I can't really control either one of those, right? Yes, of course, if it was an ultimate world, would I love everyone to love and adore me? Yes, but it's not the real world. Again, people see things differently. You could be the kindest person, but someone might think you're manipulative. You could be the most friendliest person, but someone thinks that there's an ulterior motive behind what you do. You could be a direct person and someone thinks that you're bossy. You could be someone who is rude and someone just thinks that maybe you're having a bad day. So at the end of the day, you can't control how someone else interprets who you are. And so what I'm trying to get across with this episode and this messaging and what I'm sharing today is that knowing this, knowing that there's thousands upon thousands of versions of you out there in the universe, in the metaverse, in all of that verses, because again, we don't know every single person that we meet. Some of these people are interactions that you've had in a chat room or something like that, right? Over the years. And someone has a version of you that they see in their mind and they create a story of who you are because of that. And to them, that's true. You've survived closets, shame, rejection, silence, perfectionism, burnout, and heartbreak. But survival was never the end goal. It's time for your queer comeback. I'm Christiano Green, queer transformation coach and the creator of The Queer Comeback, a free webinar for LGBTQIA plus souls ready to heal, ready to rise, and ready to reclaim who the F they are. This isn't self-help, it's queer soul revival. Inside this masterclass, I'll share the 3 things every queer person needs to know to finally break free from society's judgments, awaken their queer spirit, and live unapologetically, spiritually, emotionally, and fully embodied. You weren't born to shrink. You were born to come back louder, softer, fiercer, wiser, queerer than ever. This is your invitation to come home to yourself. Join the Queer Comeback free, live, transformational, because your next chapter doesn't start with shame, it starts with you. Sign up now, link in bio. But again, you're going to have people who love and adore you, and again, to them that is true. Some things may not all add up. Again, we again can manipulate a situation to control how someone sees us, and they see the good parts, but they don't see the fact that maybe we're manipulating them. Because we all try to somehow do that in a way, especially if we're people pleasers and we want people to like us and we do things that I guess go against who we are in order to feel liked or to feel loved or to feel valued. The best thing that you can ever do for yourself is to focus on loving yourself, is on focus on valuing yourself, is on seeing yourself as the most authentic version of yourself by being the most authentic version of yourself. Getting to know yourself is a key value in life. And if you put other people's perceptions of who you are above your own, you're only moving yourself down the ladder of worth. Because if you continue to tie your worth to how other people see you, you're always going to be disappointed. Because again, as we said, upon those thousands of versions of you, there are many people that will like you and there will be many people that don't. And you can't control either one of those, even though you may have tried to in the past. Something will shift and change where the truth will come out. And so if you want to enjoy life and be happy and move through it in a way that is really key to who you are, focus on you. Focus on your happiness. Focus on what brings you joy. Because when you do that, you're only going to be bringing good things into the world, right? Because no one who's focused on their own love and their own self-worth and their own, happiness and success is going to bring someone else down. It's going to be unkind to somebody else, right? You living at your true, authentic self doesn't mean that you're going to be someone who's nasty to someone else, right? But again, someone might see you that way. You can't control it. You can only see yourself through the lens that you have. So why not focus on putting that person first in your life? All right. I hope you've got the message today. I've tried to make it as clear as possible, as succinct as possible, and given as much depth to it as well. But of course, maybe you're going to have some questions. So I would love for you to share below where you're from in the world and what questions you may have around what I'm asking today. Because of course, if you stay till this part here, you're probably trying to understand his concept. Maybe you're trying to connect with yourself even further. So if I can help you do that, I'd be honored to do so. If you can't message below, send me a message on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, wherever you connect with me on. I love hearing from you all. And of course, if there's anything else you'd love for me to share and talk about during this kind of Dear Christiano series, then let me ponder on the subjects as well, because I really love creating this new series and I think it's important to talk about. Anyway, I'm going to get going. Always remember that you've got this, I've got you. Bye for now. See you next time.